Today, we're talking about how to price yourself as a video editor to not be underpaid, but still have clients say yes to you. I went from making around $5 an hour to now charging anywhere from $500 to sometimes the thousands for my work. And I remember feeling super nervous whenever someone asked me for my rate. Scared I'd say a number that was too high, even though deep down I knew that I wasn't even charging enough. So in this video, I'll help you figure out your pricing based on your skills, the type of work you're doing, and also how to grow your income over time. So let's get straight into it. Alright, so before you decide on a number, you need to actually know what you're pricing. What are you pricing? What are you selling? Video editing is an ROI service, so return on investment. And it's an ROI service every single time, whether you like it or not. Now, whether it's through a video you edited, getting a bunch of views and bringing a lot of customers to your client, that will be a return on investment. Or it can also be a convenience service which will save the client a bunch of time, which he can then go and spend on another activity that will make him more money than what he's paying you. So at the end of the day, it's an ROI service every single time, whether you like it or not. A lot of people say that if you're just saving time, it's not an ROI service, but it is, because the client can go and take that time that he's saving and spend it on a thing that'll make him more money. So you are pricing a return on investment, ROI. And once you understand this, that you are doing an ROI service, you'll have a lot more freedom in selecting your price. And this freedom will continue to grow as your skill grows. So your skill grows, so does your income. And now that you understand that your service will have a return on the client's investment, let's actually go over a few mistakes I see a lot of beginners make when selecting a price. The first mistake, which I actually did a lot myself when I started, was having the mindset of, if I wouldn't pay that much for a video, neither would the client. So basing your price on what you would pay yourself, which is a fucked up mindset. You are not your client. It's just not that way. If you're targeting business owners, which you should, by the way, never waste your time on some hobby creators. You're targeting business owners. They're most likely used to signing massive deals. So you cannot have the mindset of, if I wouldn't pay $500 for a video, neither would they. That's the first mindset keeping you stuck. Because let's say a business owner just signed a, $50K deal with some company. I promise your little $3K a month ROI service will feel like nothing to him. Do you understand what I'm saying? It'll feel like nothing. He's doing way bigger deals. This is nothing to him. You have to understand this. And mistake number 2 is copying other editors' prices blindly. Just because another editor says he charges $1,000 per project doesn't mean you should. You shouldn't. You need your own critical thinking. You need to figure out your situation, your position, and you need to make the best move on the chessboard every time. Not by copying other person's moves, by thinking about your own move. Because you don't know their skill level, their speed. You don't even know if they're getting ghosted by clients. Like you don't know that. Maybe they don't even have any clients. Pricing needs to match your offer, your target client, and your speed and service delivery. These are the things that it needs to match. Not some other dude, not some random guy who says they do this and this. Except if it's for me, I know what I'm doing. Mistake number 3, undercharging to get experience for way too long. And this is exactly what I did for such a big part of my editing journey. And this is an even worse mindset than the previous ones. I remember gladly taking on low-paying gigs, being in my head thinking, oh, this will give me so good experience and I'll get so much better at editing, so this is fine. It's not fucking fine. Because what's gonna happen is suddenly 3 months, 6 months, a year goes by and you're still at the same rates because your mindset is just in the space of, I'm trying to get better, I'm improving, hey, it's going great. Now, if you're starting out, I do recommend working a lot for free as long as you're improving your skills. But the problem is with low-paying gigs is it's most likely a client who has a specific style, a specific way of editing that you have to follow. So are you actually getting better, or are you just getting faster at recreating that style? Think about it. Now let's get to some pricing guidelines. And I'm gonna be honest, this is such a difficult video to make because there is zero right answer. There's no one size fits all solution for pricing. But there are factors, so we'll figure it out. First is obvious, the quality of your work. In my opinion, this is the biggest one. A lot of people actually say that your work doesn't really matter. You can be bad at editing, and if you just market yourself correctly, and yeah, that's kind of true, but in my opinion, this is way easier. And I like to think of it in a way where you can either get really good at editing and just go over to the client with a really good product and just sell that to them super easily. Or what you can do is you can stay as an average editor, you can learn really good marketing and get the best sales skill and basically try to sell shit to the client. In my opinion, this is just way smarter. Like the first one, getting really good at editing, getting your work quality to the top 1 to 2% of editors in the world and just going over to clients and closing them fairly easily, rather than doing everything in your power to get good at marketing and somehow try to convince this guy to buy your bullshit product. So getting into the top 5% of editors, preferably into the top 1 to 2%, will give you a huge advantage. And I feel like it's the best thing could be doing. I know it may sound difficult, but honestly, the competition being as low as it currently is, it's not even hard. You know how bad the competition is. Like, most people are just, I don't even know how to say, most people just don't understand stuff. And if you're like a normal, kind of smart guy, you learn pretty quickly, you're gonna be crushing it in this space so easily. So now that you know that your skill is the foundation, let's go over some examples, because I feel like this might help you guys out a lot. So what we'll do is let's take the 10-minute, fairly well, like pretty good editing, long form YouTube video. So let's take this as an example, a 10-minute, fairly well edited long form YouTube video as an example. And let's say we have a beginner who's at the skill level of barely being able to edit this, so he's just kind of around there, being able to do a pretty good YouTube video or an average YouTube video. Now he could be charging anywhere from 100 to 200. This is pretty much where you're at if you're a beginner who can barely do a good video for YouTube. For a 10-minute video, as a beginner, I mean, this is nice. I didn't make anywhere as near as good as this when I started. I was doing like $5 an hour, and this is $100, $200 YouTube video. You'll get some clients with that. And let's take an intermediate editor for the same video. And by the way, as a side note, I always recommend charging per video, never by hour. The reason being is you're pretty limited if you're charging by hour. You want to charge per project and get really good at doing the project and fast and stuff like that. But let's take an intermediate editor who knows some After Effects, is good at pacing, sound design, can cut pretty well. If this is your skill level, I wouldn't do anything under 250 for a 10-minute video. This is like the minimum. You shouldn't go lower than this for a YouTube video. If you already know some After Effects, you got the basics down, this is your rate. And it can be a bit more than this, but I wouldn't go under this. There are clients who pay this, trust me. And let's say you're an advanced top-level editor. You're really good at After Effects. You obviously know pacing, storytelling, perfect sound design, good music. And this is pretty much like the top 5% of editors. For this, the bottom threshold for a 10-minute YouTube video for me is a really solid $500. That's the bottom threshold. You can obviously get way more, so plus sign there, but $500 as the bottom, not going any lower than this, is a really solid price for a good advanced editor. I just want to clarify, these are all from my personal experience. When I was starting out, this would work. When I was okay getting into After Effects, this is how much I would charge, and I found it to be the best. And now I'm doing this. I'm just being fully transparent with you. This is what I'm doing. 500 for 10 minutes is what I go for. Obviously try to get it higher, but that's the threshold. But let's say we have remember that was for a normal YouTube video, so pretty pretty average, or not like average, but pretty good YouTube video. What about if we have a 10 minute Imangachi style video, which has 3D stuff, super advanced animations, perfect storytelling, and stuff like that. For this, if you're a beginner, you're gonna skip this and you're gonna keep working on your skills on something easier. If you're intermediate, an intermediate editor could do this. You could be good enough to do, like, if you know some After Effects, you can do this. So you could be charging $500 for this, $500. Because keep in mind, this takes so long to edit. Like a 10-minute Imangachi style video. You see on my channel the recreations I do for Imangachi. Those were like 40-minute videos, like 40 minutes for one animation, with already knowing what to replicate, and doing that from the start would take like 3 hours. And what I would charge for this, well, I actually got this as a request. He sent me the editor behind Imangachi. You guys know this video, I've done some recreations of this. So he sent me this and just told me to do it as similar as possible to this one, with these insane animations. And I basically told him, yeah, I'll do that for $1,500. So that's what I did. Pretty bold move, but hey, this is the game. There are people who pay this for a video as good as this. Like, look at these animations. Like, you know how long this would take. $1,500. That's a really solid price, and that's not even the highest prices I've seen being paid. So just keep in mind that this is not out of the question, especially if you're good. Okay, so now you know some pretty simple pricing guidelines from what I've learned in my journey. And now let's talk about what would the path to 5K per month look like. What would the path to 5K a month look like? I'm gonna try to make this as simple as possible for you guys, because I'm a nice guy. So let's do this. This is basically a graph. And on this x-axis we have time, and here we have money. I'm gonna split this into something like this. And over here we're gonna have high ticket clients on the top column, and here we'll have low ticket clients. And as we have talked about, improving your skills over time will lead you to also increasing your income. The graph would look like the graph would look something like this. So as time goes by, your income also increases. Hopefully this makes sense. And this chart, we have two categories, high ticket clients and low ticket clients, being on the top and bottom. I'm gonna set the bottom price to be $500, because that's what we talked about in one of the previous videos, of having $500 as a bottom threshold for a client. So not getting any less than $500 a month. Now to first talk about getting to 3K a month. So around here, the best scenario would be getting one client paying you that 3K. And this could be a combination of 6 videos per month at $500 each. This is what it could look like. However, the combination can vary a lot. You could also have 2 clients paying you 1.5K each, or maybe even 6 clients paying you $500 each, which is the minimum threshold. Getting here will most likely be a combination of high and low ticket clients. So it could be one client paying you 1.5K and then other ones paying you, like 4 others paying you 500 or something like this. I don't do the math, but at this point it doesn't matter. You can have the low ticket clients because your skills are improving constantly with this as time goes on, and getting your skills up is truly invaluable. Now getting to 5K a month, let's do a green color. Getting to 5K a month, so over here you'll most likely start to steer only towards high ticket clients, and you'll have to drop off the low ticket clients and just focus all of your time on a few really good high ticket clients. An ideal situation would be one client paying you 5K, but most likely 2 clients paying you 2.5K, or even 5 clients paying you 1K per month, of course. For example, for myself, I think I have 5 clients right now, anywhere from 500 to 2K a month each. I'm not even sure, I haven't counted it, but something like that. So the combination can vary a lot. And yeah, hopefully this chart makes sense. here, as time goes on, your income level increases right there. So income goes up as time goes on. And it'll most likely be a linear progression, or linear progression at best, I'd say. It's most likely not gonna be like this. What it could also look like is, and what it looked like for me, is nothing happening, just time going on, and then suddenly it just skyrockets. That's maybe a bit more likely. But I really hope this makes sense. You can message me on X or leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this. And one more thing I want to talk about, which will really help with how much you can charge per video, and that's your mindset. We talked about this a little bit before, but I want to elaborate on this. Your mindset and your own limiting beliefs can hold you back so much progress can be lost. And especially for me coming from a small town with under 10k people and never really seeing any money everywhere, this was a big struggle for me, so I want to quickly talk about this. I promise you, there is so much money in the world you can't even fathom. You walk around a big town, there's billions of dollars everywhere. For reference, I'm going to give a quick example, hopefully this helps. If you didn't already know, one of my clients is the Andrew Tate's The Real World program. And I was just on a call with the creative director of it, and we talked about money and deals and stuff like that. And he told me that anything below 50k a month for his video editing content services, anything under this was a waste of time. Can you imagine that? 50k a month is the bare minimum it takes. Can you imagine that? And you're wondering if you can charge 500 per video. 50k a month for video editing. It's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, that was just a quick mindset shift I wanted you guys to have. And now that you know how to price yourself actually correctly, go ahead and watch this video on how to outreach to clients so you can actually start landing them and start to get fucking paid. Anyways, I'll see you there. Peace.